Well, now it's time for the big reveal, our wedding from start to finish, what we've all been waiting for. This is our transformation team. Allison from STEMS, Susan from Big City Bride, and Corey from Corey DeWalt Photography. Our transformation team.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, sound more excited, David.
Yeah!
This is our transformation team. It's interesting because we have relived that day. Because anytime we see the flowers that we chose or...
When I went out yesterday to help pick up some flowers, I saw the flowers and it kind of brought me back to the moment of when we walked into the reception. And the flowers meant so much more than just the decoration. It literally was kind of an emotional moment when I saw them. It sounds really sappy, sorry.
But that's
Guys, fraternity brothers, don't judge me.
We've been doing that the whole time as we've gone through, ever since we got married, we've been going through kind of the replay. Our honeymoon was great for that because we just kind of walked through these steps of, oh, do you remember that? Did you remember seeing that? Oh, that person was there. And this is really our wedding from start to finish. How to create a venue into an actual wedding. Let's take a look.
A year ago today marked the first I love you. Today we stand in similar positions as we did in Charlotte. However, we are about to say I do. Most would say this is when forever begins, but for us, it was simply a cup of coffee. Little did we know how much our lives would change. Little did our family and friends understand how fast it all would change. Within a year, we stood on the mountain together and celebrated victories. You also held my hand through the valleys when life gets tough. We have learned to lean on the Lord as our household rock and build a strong foundation that will last not just our years on earth, but also that will leave a legacy. Thank you for loving me the way you do. You embrace my intensity, respect my passion, give me chills when it's warm, and let Puffy Doolittle walk down the aisle. So today and every day, I will take you as you are. I promise not to change you, however, grow with you. I will always be a faithful wife, mind, body, and soul. I commit to stand by you through life and also let you lead our household as a husband and future father. I'm seriously the luckiest girl in the world to get to celebrate life with you daily. I love you, David.
Whitney, I promise to make the trek up and down the mountains together with you. Every day, I will remain committed to being beside you at the top or bottom of the mountain, and I commit to being your biggest cheerleader. In times of challenge, I commit to battling and overcoming. During these times, I commit to growing as a unit and becoming intertwined further. In every situation, I will focus on learning and growing with you. During times of celebration, we will rejoice together and share with others. I commit myself and our family to giving and sharing with those in need. I promise to further develop a relationship with God and help lay that foundation for a future family. I promise to push you to become the best partner, mother, and professional. I expect you to push me just the same. Our pursuit of love, family, God, and happiness depends on our commitment to each other. I commit myself to you.
There's a lot of craziness in the world today. Not much left to believe in if you read in the front page. Call me old-fashioned, call me a bit naive. I know what I stand for, yeah, I know what I believe, oh baby, and I believe in miracles, I believe in trust, and I believe that there are angels here, I believe in looking up, and I believe in true romance, yes, I believe in love, but most of all, baby, I believe in us. When hearts are breaking here all over town, we hold on to one another when the chips are down. Call it impossible, call this the great unknown, that love could last forever with a little faith and hope, oh baby, and I believe in miracles, I believe in trust, and I believe that there are angels here, I believe in looking
beautiful. So much emotion flowing. What did that feel like for y'all? Allison, you go first.
Oh, it's great to see. I mean, we're kind of more behind the scenes. So we show up early, we get everything set, and then we head out. So it's really fun to see the actual, a piece of the actual wedding. So
Well,
that
that's
was great.
That's one thing that was amazing about Stems. We do work with you. You do the flowers on our show every week. So I knew I could depend on y'all for that. However, forgot y'all even exist that day because you were like the behind the scenes. My bouquet landed in my arms right when it should have. I mean, you guys set up everything. It was really flawless, seamless.
Great. That's the way it should be, definitely.
Yeah.
I think, the day of, all your vendors should be people that you really trust and have a great rapport with, and that's how everything happens so smoothly.
Yeah, even with the groomsmen, you had the names on them. It was really remarkable.
It's handy. Yeah. Otherwise it can be a little confusing. So we try and make it as organized and easy for everybody as possible.
Was I a unique bride in the fact that I didn't pick out my flowers and I told you do what you want to?
Definitely, yeah, for sure. I think our planning process was a little different than most. I think we had like maybe a 10-minute phone conversation, a couple emails back and forth, and that was it.
It was like a trust fall.
Super. You were like, these are the colors we picked. Do it, whatever you love. But really, I mean, we love to draw from the style of you guys. So just knowing you for as long as we have, and working with you guys, it's great to pull that style from you guys. So we kind of took to your vibe. You guys really, it was like urban, kind of Southern girl chic, and I think we took that and ran with that. And I think the clincher for me was when you sent me a picture of your dress. That really kind of tied it all together. It was a great way to see the style of it, and kind of what you'd chosen for your own personal style, and then that really should translate throughout the whole design.
And every bouquet, mine was played up a little bit more, but every bouquet was so pretty. It wasn't like you saw the girl on the end have frumpy flowers. Like all of them were really fresh and beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what did you think about your boutonniere?
It was so easy for the guys because with guys you just don't want to overcomplicate things.
Yes, definitely.
Names on the boutonnieres were clutch. It went really easily, and they were gorgeous. They matched the color tones of everything else. And obviously hers as well, so it was perfect.
Everything should just be an accessory to you guys, and that's what I think the whole wedding day is really about. It's celebrating you guys, and so we try and do that.
So when you're working with brides, seasonal flowers, how do you know the 101? Like, do you have to just go to the experts like you?
Yeah, I mean, most people don't know much about flowers in general, but for them to know anything about seasonality is really tough. So I think, find your great resource and use them, and we are all about seasonality. I think it's great that you really want to focus on what looks amazing that time of year, is going to match your venue, your style, and your colors.
Well, you guys did a fabulous, fabulous job.
Good.
Thank
We're so glad to be part of it.
Susan, what was it like for you to see that? Because you've been our wedding planner from start to finish. You work with tons of brides. Did our wedding seem very unique?
That summed up our entire year, did it not? From the time we were sitting together, and I said, let's use Marry Me for your walk down the aisle, because it starts off by saying, we met in a cafe, now we're getting married, to the Just Married sign on the back of the rolls, all the way to the lit DJ booth, which took us to our party, and all of the fun little touches we did along the way. It really brought together. It was very urban, it was hipster, it was Whitney, it was David, it was lovely.
Oh, well, you definitely made that possible because you were working behind the scenes the whole time to make sure we coordinate, and with all the vendors. We had so many vendors. When you think about the wedding process, you're working with so many different people, but you're kind of the go-to person that they could all check in with and make sure everything was signed right. That was one thing that I must emphasize. It's so nice to have like an extra set of eyes on things, especially like for brides, because you're just like in wedding mode. So you're like, let's do this. And
what I say is every idea requires an action. So sometimes the bride has the idea, and then Big City Bride will do the action. And what was also, I think, was paramount was that your venue was brand new. Most of the venues on our team had not worked at Lacuna.
right.
And so even when I sent we had 3 different forms of transportation. I sent them an aerial shot of the venue and say, this is where the transportation pulls in. The building's a city block long. So all those things, you had cutting edge ideas with your entire wedding. So I think it was fun to tie in all of the vendors and all of the experts. And you did have a lot of them, because you did have a lot of ideas and required action.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was super helpful was the day of schedule. And it wasn't just for us, it was for our wedding party too, and our family as well. It was so spot on with where each individual really needed to be
Even Puffy.
Even Puffy, yes.
Puffy is my dog that did walk down the aisle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and
Our
we even
dog.
put Puffy in.
Our dog, sorry. Everything ours is now.
Your daughter.
Everything's ours now.
Our doctor.
Yeah, our doctor.
Well, Puffy was very important to you guys, and then it was important to me. So we even put Puffy the dog in the timeline so we knew who was taking her to the church and back and when we needed her for photos, and even the sparkler shot. We got some great sparkler shots leaving the church, and it's all those details that you can't go back and redo.
Being in Chicago, people always feel like, oh, it's such a big city. I don't know if I can actually do it in the city, and you can. There was no secret to it. We were kind of overwhelmed at first. We're like, being from Pittsburgh, being from Oklahoma, how are we going to do this in Chicago? And it was really nice because it was actually easy to do. And that's what, you always hear of weddings, like destination weddings, going to Cancun or whatnot. I would say Chicago could even be a destination wedding for people.
It sure can. It's middle of the map. We've got plenty of hotels and 2 airports and lots of things to do, eat, see, and drink. So Chicago definitely is a destination. Whether you're East Coast, West Coast, North, South, it is a great meeting place. And even in the winter, you're going to get lots of discounts. So don't discount.
Oh.
Chicago is a great place for destination in the winter.
That's an interesting point. So if you want to do a winter wonderland wedding,
Sure.
yeah, this might be the place to do it.
Absolutely.
And then for us, we wanted to create, since it was more of a destination, we only had 55 people from Chicago at our wedding. So it really was like a destination for everyone. So we wanted to create kind of like a whole weekend of events and have everything lined up, and organization was key for that. Now, Corey, you did all of our photos, and working with you, I met you last minute before our engagement shoot. I said, David, our photographer canceled, what do we do? And David goes, I know a friend that was in a band that's friend with a photographer. And I said, oh my goodness, how is this gonna work? Yeah, he specializes in band photography. I'm like, well, no singer here. We need it. And our engagement shoot was the next day. So I said, well, if we like them, let's keep them on for the wedding. And I would highly recommend that for brides and grooms at home. If you're looking at a wedding photographer, try them out for your engagement session. So you met me 24 hours before our engagement session.
Over the phone, yep.
Over the phone, the day of your big birthday. Was it your?
Correct, yeah. And luckily the birthday party was after the engagement shoot.
Yes, that was right, exactly. Yes, it was after the engagement shoot. And we took you all around. You were so easy because I was kind of demanding. I was kind of demanding in what I wanted because I wanted artsy, and I really had a vision. But if brides don't have that vision, what would you tell them?
I would say look for a photographer whose style you really resonates with you. And photographers are always going to have their particular style, but also they can, if you want more traditional, that's an option. If you like a more photojournalistic with some artistic editing, that's also an option. And I would say on my end, I prefer the candid, really natural moments as well as incorporating the perfectly posed, and like right when I got to the hotel and we arranged your jewelry and your purse and your dress and everything, and we basically had a product detail shoot for right before you got your makeup done.
It was, I'm a very detailed person, so for me, I handed you my sheet for the shots. Like I was like, okay, I want these 100 shots.
And I recommend that to every single bride, and it is the most crucial part, I would say, just so that you don't wake up the next day and say, I didn't get a picture with my Uncle Vinny or whoever.
Right.
And I would say Big City Bride was amazing help with that, because as we've just finished the ceremony and we're going to get all these photos, we want to make sure we get Grandma and Grandpa, and it's really difficult for me to try to wrangle people and bring people. So all I had to worry about was holding the camera and making sure everyone looked right. But the day of coordinator was there to sort of make sure, okay, you guys are on deck, you'll be up next, and you guys just sort of had to stay put, and we posed people around you.
Yeah, getting group shots are the worst part of the wedding, so make sure it's organized.
Exactly.
And sometimes you want to hustle that moment because you're like, oh, we just want to go to cocktail hour, we just want to go see everyone, go to action booth, go take snapshots. No, take your time, get those photos with the family. And for us, it was really easy because we got a trolley to take the wedding party around. So we had bus transportation for all of our guests. We had the Rolls Royce for David and I, but then we had a trolley. We kind of got it all covered. Then we had the
I was going to
trolley.
say that too, is for the engagement shoot, we were able to hit a bunch of spots, but it was just the two of you, my assistant, and so a four-door car with 4 seats worked well. Now when we've got 12, was it, on the wedding party?
We
No,
had
it was
8 on each side.
9 on each side.
9 on each side.
That
Yeah.
would have been pretty difficult to do
And a dog.
with a couple of cars and having to park at Board of Trade and then Grant Park.
Those were
Yeah.
fun shoots too. Like on the trolley, they were super candid because everybody's just kind of hanging out, having a good
You get
time.
honked at, people are
Yeah.
angry with you.
Yeah, my tip for the trolley is snacks and drinks.
Snacks and
Adult
Absolutely, yeah.
drinks.
Well, and
Absolutely.
it was wonderful because I did contact Second City Trolley and I said, hey, are we allowed to bring, drinks on there, snacks? Because you never know. It like varies from each trolley and whatnot. And he was like, have a party. It is your wedding day. So that's another thing I would check if you're having your wedding party taken around town. Make sure that it's okay, that things are going to be safe. Read the reviews. So that way you know everything's safe.
And if you're getting married in the summertime, make sure that your trolley has air conditioning. You don't want to roll down the windows and ruin all the hairdos you just did. And also to make sure that the drinks and snacks you're bringing on the trolley do not have anything of color. We don't want to stain the bride or
That's
the girls.
a really good point.
So yeah, it was a perfect way to get around for the bridal party. It made it a party on
It
the
was
way to the
really
party.
fun.
Susan, you gave us our list for shots to do around the city. Do you have kind of a list just to give to brides about what family shots to do, what shots to do around town?
And Corey, I think I try to focus on the different elements of photography. Maybe you want some greenery. Maybe you want the beach. You want the skyline. You want Michigan Avenue. You want the building. You've got the Board of Trade shots, the bridges. There's so many great spots in Chicago. Look at wedding pictures online, see what backdrop you like. Are you more urban or do you want the gazebo by the Drake? There's so many great locations. Look at photos online, decide what's your personality, and then make a list.
So Allison, when you brought the flowers into Lacuna, because to give you the snapshot, even though you just saw the video, Lacuna is there's spray paint on the walls, there is wood floors. How would you describe it, David?
Skate park / graffiti walled. I mean, it's a really,
I was
really
gonna say,
cool,
I see a dance
cool
hall,
place.
but he sees a skate park. So tomato, yeah.
It's totally
When you were bringing these elegant flowers in, what was your thought? Were we clashing too much, or was it able to flow?
No, I think it's such a great venue for you guys. It was so much fun. It had so much character versus, a ballroom, which it's too stuffy for you guys,
Right.
So it fit you, and I think it was a great tie-in to apparently what the party was. I mean, it really was amazing. And I think you want to do something elegant. It's a wedding. It's got to be a wedding, but it still has to be a party that fits you guys.
Normally, do you work with brides or do you work with coordinators on the load-in for the flowers for the reception?
Yeah, definitely. It's all, Susan and I were talking a couple weeks before, getting all the load and stuff. The aerial shot was amazingly helpful to know where we were going. Because we work at hundreds of venues in the city, and there's always, every year, there's new ones. So you have to figure out what the new places are, and it's great. Our staff is amazing, and we all get loaded in and organized, and everyone works together. All the vendors work together to create that space. It's a team effort for sure.
What is the wildest wedding you've done this year?
Oh goodness. We did a really fun Gatsby-inspired wedding at the Blackstone last year. It was a lot of fun. It was super over the top, feathers everywhere, and it was
Incorporated in the flowers.
all over the flowers.
Sad I didn't think of that.
No, it was fun though.
Oh, awesome. So Susan, seeing the venue, you were working it. In fact, a lot of people didn't even know. They were like, where's Susan? Because you were so going there, here, there. You were
Wedding ninja.
Yeah, we called you our wedding ninja because you were really working it where we could enjoy our day.
I really look at myself as the conductor of the orchestra. All of the vendors are the orchestra. I'm not playing an instrument. I'm telling the caterer when to play, when to stop, cueing the toast, telling the DJ what's next, lining up the bridal party. There's so many moving parts and so many vendors, especially your day had a little bit of production, and we had a cool venue with unlimited possibilities. So it was thinking about where do we put the bar? What spaces of Lacuna do we utilize? We did the masterhead table, which is a feast table, which was a horseshoe shape. So it really became a fun bridal party feast table. So yeah, I was all over the place, everywhere, bouncing around the hotel, the church, the venue, getting everybody set up. I hope I'm a nice conductor though, right? You hear so often that the wedding planner is, but I try to be, hey, we're on the same team. Let's make this awesome.
Right. Well, we definitely had a united front with it. Platinum Events did a great job as our DJ, and they did lighting, and they did such a good job taking over after Jesse was done, which I liked the transition going from the elegant feel of we have a band, we're having cocktail hour, to then, it turned into like Club Whitney Heiner. It was such a neat transformation even in that evening because it went from just ooh to, you know, we were like ready to bust a move.
Doing cheerleading moves.
Well, I mean, I hate that I did look like a cheerleader up there. But yeah, I know.
A couple drinks and we all become a cheerleader.
You're right. Well, thank you so much for all coming on and being our transformation team. Thank you for proposing to me.
Thank you for marrying me.
You're welcome. And we hope today we proved to you everywhere that you too can say I do to Chicago. For more information on the show, go to thewhitneyreynoldshow.com.
A year ago today marked the first I love you. Today we stand in similar positions as we did in Charlotte. However, we are about to say I do. Most would say this is when forever begins, but for us, it was simply a cup of coffee. Little did we know how much our lives would change. Little did our family and friends understand how fast it all would change. Within a year, we stood on the mountain together and celebrated victories. You also held my hand through the valleys when life gets tough. We have learned to lean on the Lord as our household rock and build a strong foundation that will last not just our years on earth, but also that will leave a legacy. Thank you for loving me the way you do. You embrace my intensity, respect my passion, give me chills when it's warm, and let Puffy Doolittle walk down the aisle. So today and every day, I will take you as you are. I promise not to change you, however, grow with you. I will always be a faithful wife, mind, body, and soul.